This live stream started. As usual, if you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up just so I'm not talking to myself. Just give me a thumbs up so I know you guys can hear me. I hope all of you are doing well. We're going to go ahead and get this live stream started in a couple minutes. We'll give people some time to come in, let YouTube send the notifications out, and then we'll go ahead and get going. But how is everybody? I hope everybody's doing all right. How was your Super Bowl weekend? How did everybody enjoy the big game? Or if you didn't watch, or maybe you just watched for the commercials, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of the game? Or just the Super Bowl in itself? No thumbs up yet. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. You're the first one. Thank you. Yes, I want to talk about, is it time to basically get rid of the COVID restrictions on just all travel, cruising, of course, being lumped into that group, but I figure all travel. It's just after everything that I experienced, literally like this past weekend or the past week being in Mexico, and then you couple that with the Super Bowl, I do believe it's a good conversation that should be had. Because, I mean, if you guys saw what was going on at the Super Bowl alone, it raised a lot of eyebrows. It really did. A defensive holding the penalty at the end of the game was such a bad call. Yeah, I agree. It was a bad call. Definitely. Yeah, I was watching from Senior Frogs over in Playa del Carmen. Watched the whole game. It was good. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the COVID restrictions. And is it time to just kind of go ahead and either ease up with them, or should we continue with them? You know, maybe ease up or just let it go all together, considering where we are right now during the pandemic. I'll let some people again get in, guys. We'll start in like another minute or two, and we can go from there. I just think the conversation should be had. How was the dental work? It was good. I'm surprised. I have no pain. I got a root canal yesterday, and I feel perfectly fine. I was personally ready for a day of just staying in bed and watching Netflix, but I feel fine. It's a little swollen still from yesterday, but no pain at all, no discomfort whatsoever. I'm happy. Going back to Mexico next week. On my first contract right now. What contract? What ship are you on? And what do you do? In quarantine. Ah, okay. Yeah. Just got on the ship. Welcome back to Tampa. Yeah, I didn't get here until like 2 a.m. I didn't get walk into the door like 2 a.m. last night. I was supposed to get home at 7 p.m. Then it was a delay after delay after delay, and it was just crazy. So yeah, I'm happy to finally be back for a week. I got to go back out on the 23rd for about a week or so, and kind of go from there. Then I got my cruise coming up, so I'm excited. Let's see, somebody said, so guys, for those that are just joining in, of course, hit that like button. We are talking about the COVID restrictions and whether it's time to end them for, maybe not in general, all right? I get there's some places that are still going to be requiring COVID restrictions, vaccines, doing their own thing. But I'm talking in the sense in regards to travel. I think it's a good conversation to have, again, considering where we are, and based off of what I saw in Mexico, just being there, and based off of what we all probably saw during the Super Bowl. Going to Mexico. Oh, okay. Well, we all love Mexico. I know I do. Let's see. Somebody said stop required pre-testing. Yeah, you know, that's something I could definitely agree on. That's something I could get behind. I'm surprised that Carnival is the only cruise line that's kind of dipped their toe into the idea of ending somewhat of the testing requirements, being that if you have COVID and you're sailing on a Carnival ship right now, if you can prove it by way of documentation like a doctor's note, then even if you are not vaccinated, you don't have to take a test and you can still get on the ship and sail. It's interesting. It really is. What's that? Somebody said, I got a job with Carnival, then boarding is an MF though. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the onboarding process for any cruise ship is always a pain. And I can't even imagine during this pandemic, this COVID era where you have to do all these quarantines, and I'm sure it's a pain. It has to be. Justin, I don't understand why, if a cruise is 95% vaccinated, why do you have to wear a mask? Could you help explain this to me? Because it's science. No, I'm just kidding. No, the thing is, I truly believe in my heart and in my soul. The cruise lines, obviously, they mean well for everybody. But I believe that if they really had the decision to make on their own, with no scrutiny, no intervention from the CDC, no bad media articles, I don't think they would have us wear masks on board. I truly believe that. Now, obviously, I'm not a spokesperson for the cruise lines whatsoever, but I do believe they want everybody to have the best experience possible. Now, it's not a question of if you're comfortable wearing the mask. The idea of any vacation, in particular in this case a cruise ship, is to escape reality. And cruise lines want to be able to do that. And if they had the choice, this is just in my mind, I believe that most of them would just say, you know what, Maybe we'll keep the pre-cruise testing, given the environment that we're in, and when we get on board, nobody has to wear a mask. So testing is the biggest pain in flying and cruising. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's unnecessary cost for sure. For those that don't care about the cost, it is just one of those things where you're kind of paranoid for like 5 minutes, or if you're getting a PCR, you're paranoid for 24 hours, so you don't know if you're positive or negative, because if you are positive and you are going back home to the United States, you could be in some trouble. You know, all your plans of getting back home and getting back to work and going back home with your family, all that comes to an end because you now have to quarantine. It's a pain. I won't cruise again until they drop all mask mandates. It's no fun with the mask. I enjoy smiling at people. I do too. I agree. I'm a very social person, and the fact that I can't see people's expressions and faces and stuff and not be able to conversate, it bothers the heck out of me. It really does. I believe if you're willing to put yourself in a closed environment like a cruise ship, plane, train, etc., then some of the restrictions should be lessened or lifted entirely. Yeah, like I said, at this point, you really have to objectively look at everything. Don't think about all the fear that has been kind of thrown into your mind. Look at your personal experiences. If you want to go as far as rules, chances are most of us, if not all of us, have broken the rules of COVID, right? You've probably seen your family, you probably went to a gathering, you probably went to a party, you probably went to a bar, and you didn't just sip and put the mask back on or replace it or whatever it is that you're trying to do now. So, I mean, at this point, you got to wonder. So like I said, I believe the conversation should be had today. Why not? Why not? I try to have some type of subject, a talking point for the live streams. Might have already answered this, but do you think Carnival would get rid of masks by April? I haven't answered that. Now, as far as the masking entirely, like I said, Carnival is still implementing them. Royal is still implementing them, Royal's getting rid of them, and then NCL's getting rid of it. Carnival still has masking mandates on board their ships. Now, as far as April, I would hope so. But it looks to me like the cruise lines and just the industry, as far as where it's headed, things are looking good right now. They're at a steady pace. I would imagine if things continue down the trajectory, like I said in today's video, probably by summertime, they're going to try to aim for some idea of normality on cruising because they want the experience to be what it is, and so they can bring back that portion of clientele. Who knows how many people it is? It could be in the millions of potential customers they're losing out of because of all their rules and regulations and mask mandates. You missed the news cruise from Tampa. Yeah, I know, I saw that. I have to jump on it next year. I will have to do that at some point. Obviously, I can't get that much footage, but I could probably talk about it in my room while it's going on. I've already, let's see, already answered that one. Hey, bro, thanks for your live. You're the best. I just wanted to say hello. No, I appreciate you, Cody. You're the best, man. Thank you. Thanks for joining on the live, man. I appreciate it. Yes, youth staff. Sorry, I don't know how to tag people. No, it's okay. Yeah, youth staff, so they're the wild ones, always are. Let's see, it's the port agreements, not the CDC. Yeah, I know. That's mandating COVID protocols, including masks. Many crew members have stated most of the crew do not wear masks in the crew-only areas, nor are masks enforced. I would imagine it's exactly how it would be. It is up to the ports, of course. Obviously, the CDC doesn't have jurisdiction, first of all the world, and there's only so much that they can do. But if the ports of call decide maybe they're going to lighten up on the rules, and obviously that means a different dynamic for the cruising experience as well, because they all go hand in hand. Testing will stay for all of 2022. It could be a possibility. You're right. You're right. I believe some places, some destinations, some forms of travel will start to lighten up things. It may not be the testing. It could, as we've seen again, Royal Caribbean and NCL, they're going by way of the masking. So they're still making it so that you have tests on board in order to sail. If you're afraid to stay in your house, the rest of us want to live. Life is short. I agree. Life is short, and I'm not telling people what to do. If somebody is afraid, obviously take the precautions that you need. But I hate where we are right now, where everybody that isn't following what all of the extra paranoid people out there are doing, no offense to them, you're a bad person. I don't believe in that. I don't. Life is very, very, very short, and I feel like we've lost way of that throughout this entire pandemic for the past 2 years. Give me 1 second, let me scroll up here. Let's see, Ricky, I totally agree with you, Jay. If you have to take a pre-test aboard the ship, then you should not have to wear a mask on the ship. You've already submitted a negative test. I agree. Now, there is obviously the situation with the inaccuracies of the test. I know, we all know that at this point. At one point, that was something that couldn't even be mentioned. But at that point, you do gotta wonder, like, how long do you put out these restrictions? because the cruise lines have already given the numbers, or at least Royal Caribbean, what I've seen. A very, very, very minute, very small group of people are testing positive. And if they are testing positive, pretty much 0% of them are having to get to the point to where their COVID situation is so severe they need to be hospitalized or taken off of the ship. So, you know. Let's see, how was it? I figured it'd be fun and worth it regardless of the long days. Are you talking to me? Who's that? A roasted peanut? I like the name. Are you talking to me? Carnival says past April with COVID restrictions. Yeah, I mean, we've seen throughout the pandemic, and just even when the world goes back to normal, it's going to be one of those situations where a cruise line is going to say something, and it might happen earlier, it might happen later. It's hard to tell at this point. Desperate to know what NCL will be doing Miami mid-March. That is a good question. I think the cruise lines, again, I believe that as far as like releasing restrictions, they're probably going to be aiming more so for summertime. Spring, there's going to be an easing of restrictions, right, as we're seeing with NCL and Royal Caribbean between now and toward the end of the month. However, I believe they're going to keep an eye on to see what's going on. What do we have? The union of address that's going on at the end of the month. So that could potentially change everything. I said today, Washington, D.C. is getting rid of a lot of their their restrictions and a lot of their mandates. So it could have a ripple effect on the entire cruising industry and just obviously the U.S. as well. Let's see, my fingers are crossed for my COVID test on Friday for my Sunday cruise, February 20th on the Legend. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand. I know a lot of people get it. They don't, to a certain degree, mind the test. It's just that little brief pause of paranoia where you're wondering if you're going to test positive or not, because we have this whole asymptomatic situation that we're dealing with. You can not know you have it, kind of find out you have it, and just like that, you got to do an alley-oop and change course, and it's horrible. It really is. Let's see. Once you see the prices of the new cruises, you probably won't go. How much is it, Steve? How much is the new cruise? I'm assuming it's going to be up there. What, like bottom barrel price is what, like $3 grand, $4 grand? I would assume that. If it was anything else, I wouldn't even look at it. Get rid of the vaccine mandates. It makes no sense. I agree at this point. I do. Especially depending. I mean, I would assume that a lot of the vast majority of the cruising population alone is probably vaccinated. And there's only so much you can do. Like, unless we're going to be dealing with these vaccine mandates forever, there's literally, and I've been saying this to plenty of people, everybody's still on this division situation where they're like, oh, it would be better if everybody just got vaccinated. Everybody's not going to get vaccinated. I think people need to come to terms with that. And it's not that people are anti-vax or whatever. And the places like the United States and places like Canada, you got people that are just from different parts of the world and they have different beliefs. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see, how can Carnival expect not to lose business when Royal Caribbean and NCL have dropped their masking mandates? I agree. I don't know. It's hard to say. You would think Carnival, being the type, like attracting the type of audience that it does for a certain degree, especially from its like younger days, older ships, being known as like the budget cruise line, being known as more of like a partier cruise, you would think that most of the people there would be the most benefiting from the release of masking policies and stuff on board. Right now, I have about 10 offers for a free cruise, but I'm not vaxxed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe they'll get rid of it at some point. Royal Caribbean at this time, oh, give me a second, let me scroll back up here. Royal Caribbean at this time, we have yet to determine our health and safety protocols for 2022 sailings departing from Europe. What is that? Adventure of the Seas is in Southampton, UK in 8 weeks. Can't wait to see it, well, before our cruise. Oh, well, hopefully they solidify something. Wanda Goodwin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you guys. I guess I might be getting that drink package. You guys give me all these super chats all the time. Oh, they said so look at this, is that for the nude cruise? Oh, Jubilee, okay. I'm waiting for if somebody can get the pricing, if not, I can look it up in a minute. $3,600 for 4 people on the Jubilee schedule for 2024. That's not a bad deal, to be honest. I think it was just me because Carnival doesn't have the, at least from when I went on the Mardi Gras, they don't have solo options. So I paid like $2,600 for the inaugural sailing just for me. What about the restrictions from the different ports of call? Do you see changes there? It's hard to tell. I believe it's never going to be a unified thing, especially with the ports of call, in particular over in the Caribbean, because each Caribbean island and basically every country over in the Caribbean, they are going to have their different sets of wants and needs. There are some places that are heavily dependent on cruising. Meanwhile, you have other places that don't really need it, to be honest. They don't need it. So for them to, let's say, maybe relax some of the restrictions, especially for cruising on the guys that they're going to have some more revenue coming in, some places probably just don't need it. The usual cloth mask is totally useless against the virus, no science there. Yeah, I mean, that's already been publicly out there. That's what I'm saying. If they're going to implement masking policies, right, and we know that the regular standard cloth mask do not work, I feel like you should go all in if that's the case and provide the mask if that's going to be the situation. What is it, the N95 mask that they're saying is what works? A better grade of mask? If you're not going to make that mandatory, why would you just make masking in general mandatory? Because we know the cloth masks don't work to begin with. They help a very, very, very small, like insignificant amount. So why have it if that's the case? I'm just wondering if it'll be a month from now or 3 months from now. What, that they release restrictions? 3 months. Yeah, I would say if you're going to look at it from that scenario, 3 months for sure. Ricky, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys trying to get me drunk on this Wonder of the Seas cruise? Drink package is on the way. So in quarantine right now, I might have a roommate. I don't understand because it's quarantine, but it's going well. Oh, you're a crew. I've heard that. They've been kind of just grouping people together. Well, if you guys don't have COVID, I mean, why not do your quarantine, you know? I can get on a ship and have a negative COVID test, but I can board, can't, maybe you mean can't, but I can board a ship with shingles, hepatitis, flu, with no test. Oh, well, look at the world we live in now. COVID is the only thing that matters. It feels that way. I swear it does. I think we all can relate to that one. Let's see. I don't want a booster. UK last 2 made me ill. I also have had COVID. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not really opting to get the booster either. I'm not in a rush. The only reason I got the vaccine, and I'm not anti-vax, just I've never really been on vaccines. It's not something I've like looked into and made some statement that I'm either gonna take every vaccine or not take it. It's just vaccines were never a thing that I thought about, but I needed to travel. Otherwise, I'll get like really, really, really depressed. Traveling is something that is a love of mine, and yeah, I get it. It's like a first world luxury. But I feel like traveling is who I am as a person. If I can't do that, hey Jay, how's the tooth? The tooth is good. I gotta go back next week. I gotta get my permanent crown, and then I have to get a tooth removed. I gotta get one tooth shifted, then I gotta get some grafts done because I'm getting an implant from a missing tooth that I'm very, very paranoid about, which is why you guys don't often see me smile in my videos. I purposely go out of my way not to do so because I'm paranoid. Because I used to have a really beautiful smile, and then I lost a tooth, and yeah, it ruined my life. It really did. So people think I'm angry all the time when I'm on videos. I'm not, I promise. Don't want to show the. Anyway, 25. Oh, for the new cruise. So get this. Okay, $2,500 per person for an inside cabin, and oh yeah, because they don't have a solo option. $5,000 for solo. Wow. Yeah, that's horrible. I hope the cruise is worth it. I'm guessing it's a week cruise. I would hope so. By the way, guys, if you're just joining in, hit that like button. We're just answering questions, having conversations. Hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. We got 174 people in here. We got 92 likes. Let's get those numbers up. Let's see. Carnival does not provide masks. No. Who was it? I think it was Royal Caribbean that's providing the. No, not. I thought it was. No. I don't know. Somebody was providing masks. I forgot who it was. They were providing the N95 mask too. Let me see. Lost my place here. How did Carnival hold on. How did Carnival start back allow smoking in the casino, but they haven't dropped mask mandates? Yeah, it's weird, right? If everything is literally like all over the place, and some things honestly just don't make sense. A week from Rome, inside $538 plus $65 tax, $145 insurance in March. That's not bad. Not a bad deal. That's been my point all along. No pointing in mask if N95 not required. That's what I'm saying. I believe that too. I do. People can still obviously feel how they want about COVID and the situation, and they feel like they got to mask up. But don't wear the cloth mask, which scientists and doctors have gone on to say that they do not work. They provide minimal, very, very, very minimal, basically non-existent protection. So what are we doing here? I did cruise once with shingles. I'm sure that was a horrible experience. I've never had shingles, but I know somebody that has had it, so I can't imagine. Let's see. I sailed with Holland America recently, and they provided 2 KN95 masks to all the guests. Good. If you're gonna require the mask, you should specify which ones, because I think it does make a difference. It's not just me. Doctors have said that it makes a significant difference. Where's Lauren? Lauren is in France. Lauren will be here in 2 weeks. I'll be meeting her in Miami, then we're going on Wonder of the Seas. So I'm really excited. I really am. Let's see. As a woman, I am among other people who cannot medically get the vaccine, and I have a cruise coming up in early April. I hope they get rid of all restrictions real soon. I hope they do too, to be honest. And you know what's crazy? See, that's what I'm saying. When I see stuff like this woman says she can't get it for, medical reasons, woman reasons, people will be quick to call that person an anti-vax or something like that. Like, it's crazy to me where we are in the world. Some people legitimately have had history with bad experiences with vaccines. Some people just, come from different cultures. Some people are legitimately just having fears because they've had bad experiences. I think that's all within the realm of acceptable. I really do. Let's see, the other thing about traveling right now is it's almost never been cheaper. I agree. Specifically international Hawaii. Jay, you agree it's never been cheap to fly to the UK than during the pandemic? No. I mean, for me, I'm Mr. Loophole. I have found like every scenario to get to the UK. Now, thankfully for me, one thing I've noticed as far as traveling, like I have a lot of friends that ask me about going to Europe all the time because the thing is, a lot of people just aren't aware where we are in the world these days. They don't understand travel is not as expensive as it used to be, depending on how you decide to do it. But you can find flights to the UK, especially because it's a very common flight in a lot of places out of the US, like most of the Tampa airports, Atlanta, Newark, New Jersey, New York. If you go out of those areas and bounce over to the UK from there, either Heathrow or Gatwick, depending on where you're going, if you're flexible, you can always find cheap flights. I used to find mine round trip, typically in the 500 range, going back and forth to the UK. So, I mean, I don't know if a lot of you consider that a lot to be going overseas. Personally, I don't. I figure that's reasonable, and I've been several times during the pandemic and before the pandemic. And the prices have been extremely reasonable every time. Let's see, hoping they do drop the vaccine mandates. I want to cruise. I know a lot of people are waiting for it. Now, I do wonder. I wonder if people are gonna. Do you think the cruise lines would lose a big chunk of audience if they dropped all the mandates and rules and regulations? I don't personally. I don't think that'll happen. But I'm asking you guys. Do you think if the cruise lines, let's just say the big three, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, NCL, if they drop the masking protocols, they drop the vaccine requirements and testing requirements to get on board, do you think a lot of people would be so worried that they wouldn't cruise? Because I think it would go the reverse way. I think they would see an increase personally in business instantly. What's up? Oh, Ghosty, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing all right. What's up, brother? I saw you had a great time in your trip great time. You talking Mexico? Yeah, for the trophy. Yeah. I'm happy about that. That was a big win for me. Won my first international breakdance competition. I got a couple more. Going to Slovakia later this year, and there's a couple more around the U.S. that I'll be going to as well. And then I think Puerto Rico in September. So, yep. And then I got to go train tonight. I got a pulled groin, so I'm going to take it a little easy, but hey, back to it. Let's see. Well, I've seen the John Hopkins research. According to the John Hopkins research, shows that no mask work at all, even the K. I keep seeing K in M95, but the N95 mask. I haven't seen that one. I only saw what they said about the lockdowns. That they did nothing except make everybody mentally unstable, which I agree with 100%. And a lot of people that I've run into are just gone. Let's see. Question. I've heard smoking will be allowed again in the casinos. Yes, they will. You're talking about Carnival, right? What about the people who don't smoke? I believe it is unfair. Why should they breathe and smoke just to have fun? Well, if you go on Carnival's newer ships, they do have a small section in the casino that's non-smoking. And one thing, I was going to touch on this tomorrow too. I probably still will. One thing that I've noticed with everybody is that a lot of people are saying that they were on ships or Carnival ships and a lot of ships when they had no smoking allowed on their ships. However, they said there was no difference in the amount of people that were there. Now, that being said, that is probably true. But I believe that smoking and casinos do kind of come together as one to a certain degree. There are obviously going to be a lot of people that like to play craps and poker that don't smoke. However, it's one of those things that they just kind of coincide with each other. And, it's kind of here to stay. That's going to be something that's always tied in. I think maybe down the road, like if you go on the Carnival Mardi Gras, for example, they have a small area for non-smokers. I think we're going to continue to see maybe a situation where there's going to be like a more even-sided portion of the ship where it's non-smoking casino and smoking casino. Who knows? Maybe it'll decrease and reverse and go the opposite way, where there'll be a small section for smoking and then vice versa. Let's see. I'm vaccinated and wouldn't even care who wasn't vaccinated. It protects yourself short term, not others. Yeah, agree. I agree. Oh, lost my place here. Give me a second, guys. They won't lose anyone. More people have been waiting. We'll go. I agree. I agree, 100%. If they dropped all the protocols now, I do believe that a massive influx of people would jump on the ships. Maybe not massive, but I think a large portion of people would jump back on ships. Mr. J, evening, night from London, UK. How was your breakdance competition? I won. Well, I won the group one. Now, given, it was a landslide victory. It was insane. I was so excited. Now, given, some of the guys that I was with are some of the best in the US and Puerto Rico. So, yeah, we held it down. It was a lot of fun. Only thing I didn't like is that I have a really bad I pulled my groin. So yeah, it's gonna be easy practice or a chill practice for me tonight after the live stream. They'd lose me without a vaccine, and that's fine. I do believe that a lot of people are gonna feel one way or the other about the dropping and easing of restrictions. But personally, for me, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I live in Florida and I go out a lot. I'm always out in parties and stuff like that. And I can almost guarantee you that a good chunk of the people that I'm there with aren't vaccinated. But did I catch COVID? Did they? And are they hospitalized? No. They're there, that same area next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and it's been going on since the start of the pandemic. Excuse me. I would easily book if they dropped all mandates. Yeah, I think that, like I said, I do believe that'd be a legitimate argument in saying that. I truly believe that. I keep losing my space. Every time I scroll down a little bit, it just puts me down a bunch. No, count me in. I'm waiting for the mandates to go away for cruising. Yeah, and you know the thing is too, just to make it clear, I don't think it's one of those things where people are just anti-vax and don't want to cruise. Some people just want their cruising experience as they know it, right? A lot of people are vaccinated, right? But they probably just don't want to wear the mask, which is totally fine, especially if they're going on a cruise and they're paying potentially thousands of dollars for their experience. I don't blame them. I do not blame them. Like personally for me, I love the cruise, right? But if it wasn't for me going there like partially for work, I wouldn't be planning as many cruises as I'm going on. Like last year I did 4. I would have probably done like 1, maybe, you know. The cruises aren't always selling out right now. This tells me they can't financially survive this way. Eventually, they'll have to open up all the way. I agree. But obviously, there are the factors that they have to deal with, like, of course, the ports of call, the government. There's just so many things, media. So they can't just say, all right, we're going to get rid of everything. It's a long process. Let's see. Personally, the only thing stopping me from going on a cruise is that they were all paid for. Is the vaccine mandates real bummer? Okay, yeah, I get it. I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. A lot of people are just kind of waiting in the wings, seeing what happens. Let's see. If you have a beard, no mask works. Even N95. Why? Because it requires a seal all the way around your face. The mask touches. That's funny. Let's see. Non-smoking section. That's like a no peeing section in the pool. Interesting. Yeah, interesting point. Let's see. If they lift the mandates, the net gain will be significant. I agree. Some will avoid cruising, but even more will return to cruising. Yeah, that's my point. And I'm not saying this on the sense that the mandates and rules are stupid or anything like that. I believe at this point they should be reevaluated, at least looked at. Given everything that's happened, the Super Bowl alone is proof of that. You got California that still has mandates and rules and regulations. Meanwhile, you got the mayors, celebrities, and everybody else that's just hanging out willy-nilly at the Super Bowl. And by the way, the Super Bowl, I know, like some people, because of how it looks, it's not an outside facility. It's a glass top. So that means that technically everybody was breaking California rules, but because of reasons, money, it's okay. Let's see, Mr. J, could you do a video sometime about traveling during COVID and from Europe? I did a video on that, actually. It's on my channel, but I'm going to talk about it specifically sometime next week. Sometime this week, guys, I'm going to put out a video just talking about my experience going to Mexico and then my experience with the dentist office that I went to. And I know some people were asking about it. I can give them the info as well if they want, maybe get some work done over in Mexico, because you will save a ton of money depending on where you're flying from and depending on what you need, obviously, of course. Let's see, I understand the vaccine mandates for now. I hate the testing. The vaccine mandates can't go away unless the ports stop requiring them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not some one-size-fits-all situation where the cruise lines can dictate what they want to do, unfortunately. Personally, I believe it is time for us to reevaluate everything. Maybe not drop them, but see where we are with the numbers, see what the projection is looking like for the not so distant future, being springtime and summertime, and then decide from there. Let's see, my whole thing is, I don't, GAF, I can't say it here, YouTube will demonetize me. If anyone is vaccinated or not, I got mine strictly because I want to cruise, I want to travel, same here. I wanted to cruise with my kids in November. I've had COVID since, and once before vax, after was worse. Interesting. Yeah, I left the casino when smokers sit at my game table. Wow, oh yeah, I don't blame you. They've always been polite and asked if it's okay though. Like, oh, respect to them, nice. That's their right, so I just politely cash out and walk away. Well, at least everything, see, but people are doing this in a civil matter. And that's something, unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of during this pandemic. Some people are just like out of it and they don't even know it. Who's that? Lucy's mom. Congrats on your group win, Mr. J. How's your girlfriend? She's good. She's good. Can't wait to get back over here in 2 weeks. Because when I tell you they are strict over in France, she has to get the booster because it's part of, they have the vaccine passport over there. So she had to get the booster, otherwise she wasn't allowed in any restaurants, any bars, any malls, the train. It's like, to me, I think that's a little bit of a step too far. Well, not a little bit. I believe it is a big step too far. Let's see, how do you feel about ships coming from Australia? What do you mean how I feel? How do I feel about it? I wish that there was cruising everywhere, including Australia. It sucks, honestly, that the people over there can't decide what they want to do with their life. Because again, I'm just saying, life is very, very short. And I believe if you want to take a cruise, you should be able to do so without having the government tell you, like mommy and daddy, what you can and can't do. Let's see, in my humble opinion, it's no coincidence that Carnival's mask exemptions involve activities that make Carnival money, drinking and gambling. But it's been that way throughout the pandemic. Let's call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. It's been that way. When there's money involved, like we had the Super Bowl here in Tampa last year, people will swear up and down that the rules and protocols are being followed. It was not. It was not. Trust me on that one. I've lived here for a very long time. I've not seen, Tampa's a big party city, but when the Super Bowl came here, oh man, everybody came to town. The escorts, the party people, the problem starters, everybody was there. Everybody was here in Tampa. And I can guarantee you, they weren't following the rules, doing the exact opposite. I would love that dental information. If you want it, if you don't want to wait for my video to come out, then you could just reach out to me. I can give you the dental information if you want. It's in downtown Cancun. Very beautiful setup they have over there too. Yeah, I've been giving out the information like left and right. I'm gonna tell them they have to give me a kickback for this if I start bringing in them a decent amount of clientele. My work should be free. I mean, it pretty much is at this point. Question, I know it will be expensive, but could cruises have casinos on 2 floors? 1 floor for smoking, 1 floor for non-smoking? It would solve a problem. I don't think 2 different floors would be ideal. I believe that they were going to do that. Maybe they could have them like next to each other. Because like I said, on the Mardi Gras, they have like the smaller room. Like, given there's not much going on in there. It's non-smoking, but it's literally connected to the smoking side of the casino. I don't think they'd go out of their way to put it in like just 1 floor, you know, or 2 floors. Let's see, they won't drop anything till the end of the summer, but who knows? Yeah, we'll see. I think at this point, a lot of people are just kind of like, they're really, really pushing for some change. So we'll see. I got my vaccine booster because of travel. I also wear a mask when necessary. I don't want to make my bartenders and waitresses into mask cops. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that is so objective, like against the mandates and rules and regulations that I would inconvenience somebody else that is literally just doing their job. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of person, never will be. Yes, it's true, dropping everything will be a layered process. Yeah. Like I said, guys, just wait for the union address on March 1st. I do believe we're gonna see some progress on that day, especially considering where we are right now. But we'll see, who knows, maybe I could be wrong. Let's see, congrats, I graduated with honors in travel and tourism 2 years ago, and nobody wants to take their first cruise if they can't socialize and party like they've seen me do on all my Carnival ships I've been on. Yeah, I agree. I'm a party guy. I like to be social with people, which means I don't like to sit there with a mask and try to figure out people's facial expression. I want to see what they look like. There are no major casinos in Vegas that have become non-smoking. So that is not just cruise. Yeah, I agree. That's not just cruise casinos that have banned cruising. It's a trend in the industry. Yeah, I agree. My Aussie cruise got canceled for 2023. I don't even know what's going on with Australia. I know there are people that are, in line with the cruising community, and they're doing their best to kind of either protest, or they're in a situation where they're trying to talk to the authorities and health experts over there and just kind of make a case for cruising. I believe it should start over there. Do what you need to do. Open up. Just don't do test cruises because it's a horrible process. But maybe do how we're doing right now: vaccines and masks on board, if that's the case. End of story. Stop letting people not have fun. Let's see. I think they should do a trial run of no restrictions for a month. Yeah, I agree. Trial and error for no cruising. If the numbers stay extremely low or become non-existent, then get rid of them completely. I agree. But again, it has to be in line with the ports and everybody else. It's not just the cruise lines. They could maybe do it and push forward on their ships, but then the ports of call could easily just turn them away for doing that alone. So let's see, Lalita Loca. Tony did an informal poll that said 10% of us are smokers, so that the non-smoker trend makes sense. Yeah and no. So here's the thing, and no offense to Tony or anybody. When you look at the people that are answering the polls, and you look at the people that are watching channels like mine, Emma Cruz's, Tony, Don, right? These people that are watching this, unless it's like maybe something that's kind of off the cuff, like when I talked about working on cruise ships, it's something that's extremely interesting to like a vast majority of people, regardless if they're into cruising or not. Most of the people that are diehard cruisers may not be those kinds of people. These people that are smokers are people that are probably casino goers through and through, and cruising, it just happens to be like a bonus. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to look at that as like a justifiable number as far as people that don't want to smoke in casinos. That's just me personally. That's just how I look at it. Let's see. Hold on, let me go back up. Carnival Magic has floors for the casino. Okay. I haven't been on the Magic, so thank you for that. But I guess they could. Carnival Magic has a non-smoking small casino, one floor below the smoking casino. Yeah, so I'm just saying, whether they do that or not, they could have a section where it's smoking and non-smoking, like some ships do. They can make it like just a cruise-wide thing. Vegas at the MGM Park is non-smoking and will be after COVID goes away. Well, I know there's always going to be some places that allow it, places that don't. I've personally been to a lot of casinos that do allow smoking, that don't allow smoking. So it's kind of like it's a hard argument to have, right? Because either you smoke or you don't smoke, or you're okay with smoking. But it is what it is at this point. How come Disney World has done away with masks, but Carnival has not? Infuriating. Because Disney World they own the property, right? These cruise lines go to islands and ports and countries where they have their own set of rules and regulations. And if Carnival, Royal Caribbean, NCL decide to change their personal rules, and these islands and ports and countries are not okay with that, they don't like it, and they're like, oh, you're coming to our country with people that haven't been wearing masks, that haven't been getting tested, oh, we don't want you here, you can't come here. So again, that's the fight that they have to, and the agreements that they have to make with the other ports and authorities. Question, just think about Australia. What is worse, cruising or going on a plane? I mean, the plane is always, we've all pretty much been on a plane before. You pack like sardines in like this area, and then prior to that, everybody's, breathing down each other's neck, waiting in line, even though it doesn't make a difference, So, do you think I would need a vaccine for cruising in the summer? Hard to tell. Maybe. I think that from a projection standpoint, I believe the cruise lines just have a goal of like just potentially aiming for the possibility of getting rid of most, if not all, of their mandates and rules and regulations. But again, they do have to, of course, talk to literally everybody from the health officials to maybe even the media. Give them a little bit of money and say, look, don't say nothing about us. All right, we just want to live. We just want to make our money. Going on the Odyssey next month, whatever the rules are, it is what it is, still ready to party. Okay, I like that. Yeah, make the best of it. I know I am when I go on Wonder. Let's see, if Carnival refuses to go to these islands, the islands lose tons of money. Yeah, but there's always gonna be, let's say if Carnival decides to do something, Carnival decides to do something and Royal Caribbean decides to go another route, like we're seeing now with the masking policies. Well, somebody else is gonna replace them. So unless it's a unified effort by all the cruise lines, but at the same time, if it's someplace that is a very important port, a very common port, a very inexpensive port for the cruise lines to go to, let's say just for example, either the Bahamas or I just had a brain fart, or to the Bahamas, or if they go to Cozumel. Go to any of these main ports that they go to, and the ports of call decide they don't want them there. That's going to also negatively affect the cruise lines as well. You know, so think about that. I think the vaccines are here to stay. What do you mean stay? For how long? I hope not. Oh, thank you, Amber. Yeah, guys, let's get to 200 likes. Hit that like button. We got 180, 190 people in here, guys. Hit that like button so we can get to 200 likes. I know we can do it. Let's see here. Between the two areas, so limited smoking would get into the non-smoking area. Yeah, to a certain degree, I agree. And you can share staff between the two, and it would only need one cage. Okay, I see what you're saying, Tom. Yeah, yeah. It'd be a hard thing to do as far as the smoking versus non-smoking. But it's hard too because you're always going to have smokers on cruise ships, and you tell them the only places that they can go, which would extremely inconvenience them, is outside to the smoking areas, which is depending on your ship, maybe very far away, or they can go to the inside smoking. And as somebody that smokes every now and then, personally, I don't like going in those areas. So they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm in this tight little box, and if I want to smoke, I got to now walk 20 minutes to a smoking area. Some people just aren't going to be happy about that, and they're going to lose. They could potentially lose clientele just based off of that alone, if you think about it. Let's see. I think the point is, if NCL and Royal Caribbean go maskless in these ports, then Carnival can too. Yeah, no, I agree. It is strange to me how Carnival. I thought Carnival would have been the first one to kind of leap out there. But Carnival is also part of the Carnival Corporation, which means that if, let's say, Carnival Cruise Lines drops the masking policies, everybody would expect Princess to do it. They'd expect Holland America to do it. They'd expect P&O Australia to do it. Costa, you know, I'm sure it is a hard thing to navigate, especially for a cruise line or a big cruise company as big as the Carnival Corporation. You know, many cruises own their islands too, so they can do what they want. No, they don't. Not necessarily. That's a common misconception. They essentially lease the islands. So if you're talking about, I don't know, whether it be Coco Cay or, it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't. Ocean Cay, if you go to any of these islands, they are basically leasing it from the Bahamian authorities for the most part that actually own the land. So they make the rules. I mean, as we've seen, they got turned away from their private islands. The MSC ship got turned away, a Royal Caribbean ship got turned away. So they don't own the islands. They don't. Let's see. Hey, Ship Life. I have an opportunity to work for a Norwegian Cruise Lines on Pride of America. Interesting. I've heard good and a lot of bad about Pride of America. Do you have your MMC Merchant Marine? No, I don't. Some positions don't require it. Since I was an entertainer, I did not need it. I didn't need my MMC. I didn't have to go do any kind of training, anything like that. Norwegian eliminating 1 of 2 COVID tests as of March 1st. However, our first stop is Bermuda, and then they need the PCR test plus registration on Bermuda's government website, being triple vaxxed. Really? Wow. I'm gonna look into that. That's interesting. That's a lot. That is a lot. That really is. Perhaps the smokers could wear a mask. I couldn't imagine that. You're breathing in and out. In the UK, smoking is banned inside all venues, including casinos. Yeah, I know. Let's see. I think that was it. Yep. Is it weird that at the beginning of the year, beginning of cruising last year, Carnival immediately started without mask? Yeah, I know. I was there. I was there. Immediately started without mask, and while Royal require it. Now it's the other way around. I know. It's crazy how the tables turn, or how people. It's not. That's the right way to say it. I swear I've heard people say how the turn tables, which is weird, but the tables have turned. It's literally opposite of what it was last year. Let's see. Hey Jay, me and my girlfriend are going on Independence of the Seas for 3 nights to the Bahamas. Do we have to be tested? Come back to the United States? Yeah. If you're vaccinated though, thankfully all you need is an antigen test, which I was freaking out because when I was in Mexico, I'm sitting here looking it up. You got to kind of really shift through everything. If you're vaccinated, all you need is an antigen test, and you can get that done for. When I was in Mexico, it cost me $20, and I had my results within 15 minutes, well, like 30 minutes. So. It depends. I hate getting the PCR done because you're waiting 24 hours, up to 24 hours, and you don't know what the results are going to be. And should it be one of those situations because we needed 24 hours prior, it might be too late. So I'm glad they at least changed it to you having only needed to get the antigen test. How packed are Carnival cruises now? I don't think they're that bad. I think they're still floating around, pun intended, floating around like 60%, something like that. Now, when I was on the Mardi Gras for the inaugural sailing, now given also when I was there, masks weren't required on board. It was 70% occupancy, something around there. Let's see, smokers will not go if smoking is banned. I agree. I am a smoker and I will not return even if visit MGM Park due to the policy. Nothing against non-smokers, but I won't go myself. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Everybody has their wants, their needs, and preferences. So let's see. Should I upgrade though if my ship not full on the plus side? If you want, I mean, you're pretty much gonna have your own ship. You know, there's gonna be a lot of room for you to have fun because the ships aren't packed. They're not packed to the brim like they normally are. So why not? Although Carnival still has self-serve buffets while Royals serve you, it's weird. That's what I'm saying, right? I get it. Everybody's doing their own thing, but these rules, when you look at everything as a whole, right? There's so many different things that everybody is doing that honestly, if you look at it and really take a look at it, some stuff just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. You know, maybe it was just crazy, but having been on multiple like different cruise lines last year and seeing what everybody's doing differently, I get times have changed, science has changed, rules have changed, but man, like everybody should just get on like one blanket order, one blanket set of rules instead of confusing everybody. I mean, given for your average cruiser, it's not that big of a deal because a lot of cruisers that are like diehard cruisers, they cruise exclusively with one line. So they don't really know or care what the difference is on other ships. They don't, for other lines. They don't care. Let's see, if you cruise to Mexico, you have to get tested before you come back. No, I don't believe so. Cruising is closed circuit, so no, you should be fine. You take the test before you get on, and that's it. Unless things have changed, no. But it's only when you're traveling internationally, you're actually staying in that specific place, like overnight, or you're actually just going there outside of a cruise. That's when you have to get a test to come back. Let's see, we were 83% on last week on the Vista. Oh, really? Thank you for that. Be Kind, Oklahoma. I appreciate that. 83%. Wow, are you sure? I mean, that's great. That really is. Shoot, pack that thing up if you can. That's good. The idea of how bidding on upgrades are working with lower ship capacity. Oh, any idea of how bidding on upgrades are working with lower cruise ship capacities. In what way? I mean, I know you can just bid. Like when I booked the MSC Meraviglia, I got a regular standard balcony cabin, and I think it was like $50 more. I can get upgraded to their next suite. So I mean, I guess it just depends. Like the bid is just like they offer you pretty much a deal to get upgraded. And yeah, you could potentially be competing with other people. However, I think it's one of those things where they just want people to pay a little bit more and they'll give you a little bit, nicer room. So yeah, if you want me to specify it, just I'm trying to see what exactly you mean if you're saying as far as the bidding. Let's see, on Carnival, can a family of 4 get their own table at a restaurant? Yeah, why not? I would imagine so. Now, again, when I was on the Mardi Gras, like it was just me, but I saw plenty of families of 4 or 5. They had their own place. Let's see, on Carnival, or Jay, is it the same for U.S. citizens coming home from France? Do we need a PCR or just an antigen? I believe it's across the board now. If you're vaccinated, all you need is an antigen test. Because I didn't read specifically coming in from Mexico. I just read requirements to get back into the United States. I presented my antigen test. Well, I did the Verifly. After I submitted my documents, nobody asked me for my test. I kept a copy of it just in case, but nobody asked me for my COVID results. I literally put everything on Verifly, like, I don't know, 12 hours before my flight, and I was good to go. Everything got accepted and it was done. Ghosty, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You're the man. Dude, I appreciate you, bro. You watch every one of my videos. You contribute, dude. I really appreciate it. You ever need anything from me? If I catch you on a cruise, let me buy you a drink. I insist. We can drink a pina colada together. Or maybe we'll take a shot. You drink Jameson? Tequila? I don't know. What's your drink of choice? Let's see. Are cruise lines starting to take antigen tests? Well, when I went on the MSC Meraviglia, they accepted my antigen test. It was fine. That's all they needed. I know some cruise lines obviously are doing differently. Some want PCR. I don't know what it is now for Carnival. I think they need a PCR. Don't quote me on that though. Let's see. My girlfriend is starting her guest entertainment career on the Carnival Dream. Ah, she's living the dream. I'll be on that ship with her in March, hoping for no mask requirements by then. I mean, that's next month. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, you're on the Wonder? Dude, make sure you reach out to me. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, though. If anybody, because people have been reaching out to me, telling me that they're going to see me on the Wonder. I'm going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Look for Lauren, okay? Because I'll be the guy with the camera recording everything and trying to kind of feel out the ship. Now, I'm always down to have a conversation, but if I seem like I'm in a little bit of a rush, look, just please let me go because I will talk your head off for hours, okay? I have no chill. I can talk forever. And even when I got stuff to do, I love talking so much that I can just sit there and have a conversation and then I have to go deal with the pressure of procrastinating. So please, go Steed, or anybody else is gonna be on the Wonder of the Seas, I will talk your head off. So please, tell me to shut up and get back to work. That's what you should do if you see me. After of course, a brief conversation. Let's see, I was watching one of Don's videos and he's on the Princess right now. He's saying that masks must be worn in lounges at all times. But in the dining rooms, you could take the mask off the whole time. Well, that makes sense. One thing that didn't make sense is that you had to wear the mask unless you were sitting in dining rooms. I never, ever understood that. It was the weirdest thing to me. Very, very strange for me. Let's see, people can get viruses in their eyes, just like the noses. Interesting. Yes, we are sure. We were told by several, including the cruise director. Oh, okay, thank you. Wow, 83%. Well, hopefully they stay at that number. That's nice. Might you get the bid accepted for a lower bid? Oh, is what I meant. Ah, okay. Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, maybe now because they probably have less people on their ships, there is a less situation for you to maybe lose out on the bid. But I guess, I mean, I know everybody does it differently. Because technically when I was with MSC, it was labeled as a bid, but they told me straight up, like usually like when there's the bidding price, there's the bid and then there's like the right out buying price. And for mine, it said straight up for like 50 more bucks, the room would be mine. So I don't know. You look healthy. Why are you testing? Because I have to travel and I don't want to give somebody else a hard time. I am healthy, I think, you know, but hey, it is what it is. People don't like to hear that. They don't like to hear that somebody else is actually healthy. I remember I got burned at the stake for saying that I'm young and healthy. So I guess, I don't know, I'm 29, I'm not a spring chicken as far as the youth goes. I'm still young, but I'm not old either, but I'm in that point where I'm an adult now. I still don't feel like it. I feel like a kid trapped in an adult's body. But fact of life, guys, we're all children pretending to be an adult. I tell everybody this. Let's see, Joe O, I like it. Joe O, thank you for the $10 super chat. They said, keep doing you, your content and presentation are different, the subscribers will come. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm not worried about it. We're gonna have the biggest channel in the world one day. I am not worried about it. Slow and steady wins the race. Every time. Let's see, are the tests, ooh, let me go back up. Are the tests only required for embarkation, not disembarkation in the US? Yes. Unless things have changed, yes, it is only required for disembarkation. Unless, obviously, let's say you are from Europe and you are coming to the US to go on a cruise. If you gotta fly back, then yes, obviously you gotta get a test done. I just came back from Mexico. I'm not vaccinated, and they require only an antigen test. Oh, okay, so it is for everybody. Like I said, the rules are weird. I only got an antigen test, but I thought it was because I'm vaccinated. So thank you for clarifying that. Gemma Munez, whether you're vaccinated or not from Mexico, things are different if you go over to someplace like Europe or Canada. You only need an antigen test if you go to Mexico, which is why I love Mexico, except for what I had to go deal with. Yeah, there was some cartel situation going on over in Playa del Carmen. It was crazy. Police everywhere. I got stopped and frisked and shook down like 10 times while I was out there, asking me where's the drugs. Do I look like somebody that's on drugs or somebody that's selling drugs over there? No. It happened to me so many freaking times. You had the guys walk up to me with AK-47s. I'm like, dude, like, we just did this. It was crazy. R. Stacy Kruger, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. My first trip to the U.S. and first cruise. It's a long way to come, so really hoping for a smooth, fun time. Fingers crossed. When are you going? That's great. And thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. I like this little emoji here, whatever this is, the graphic. One up. I like it. Let's see how much time we have left. Guys, we got, what, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. After that, I got to get ready to go to the gym for practice. Well, I got to drink some water and stretch and shower and all that other stuff, too. But yeah, just 5 more minutes, guys, and after I'm gonna get out of here. Let's see. When I worked for Disney World, I was one of the first cast members to sail on Disney Wonder 4-day when it first came to the U.S. We were practiced before the public experience in the Wonder. I bet that was great. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a big Disney guy. I will at some point check out one of the Disney ships. I'm not in a rush to do it. Maybe I'll go with my son so I can get a full scale of the experience and see how he enjoyed it. But I'm not in a rush to do that yet. Not at all. Let's see. Question: how long does it take to typically hear back from the cruise lines after first applying? Months, months and months and months. It depends. It could be a week. It could be a month. It could be 3 months. For me, in my case, it took 6 months. Now, given I didn't go through the standard channels, and I didn't audition either. It was kind of like a friend of a friend that I met at this theme park, Busch Gardens, owned by SeaWorld, and that's how it worked out. Let's see, how long are you staying in Mexico when you go back? Well, so the dentists, they need me because of all the work that I'm getting done. They need me to stay for at least 3 days. Excuse me. So I'm leaving on, what is that, the 23rd, Wednesday next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two. And then I'm probably going to stay until Sunday because the flights are probably going to be cheaper on a Sunday or a Monday. And I just want to make sure I have plenty of time to heal up. I'm not trying to go back swollen and in pain on the plane and deal with all the hassles. So I'm going to stay there for an extra couple days. So I'm going to get my work done, Wednesday through Friday, and then I'll be done with it. So I have 2 days of healing, and then I can go home. Let's see, thank you for all the information you share. Much love. Well, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Without you guys, I would have nothing. I say it all the time. I'm still waiting to cry when I hit that 100,000 subscribers, whenever that is, because I really want it. I really do. Because YouTube alone has legitimately changed my life. I went from a poor man to a not poor man. It's great. It really is. I'm able to get my teeth done. I thought I was going to be Ubering the rest of my life. Between that and doing a show every now and then, you guys literally changed my life. So I appreciate every single one of you. I know I say it all the time. I couldn't say it enough. Really can't. I had no idea people just want to sit here and hear me talk about whatever. So. Let's see, I'm waiting on the Disney Wish. Yeah, hopefully they don't keep having these delays. I was talking to Kyle and JoJo, which, by the way, they're going to be on the Wonder, so I'm excited to meet up with them again. Yeah, they're waiting to get on that ship as well. So we'll see. Question: a straight update for any straight updates? Is that what you're asking me regarding any arrested cruise ships? I did see that. Pretty much, it's kind of like a done deal for Crystal Cruises. They're going under. I'll be talking about that tomorrow. I saw a couple articles and I saw people talking about it. I'm going to look it up and get the scoop, and I'll be talking about that tomorrow for the video. But I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the sea ships. Just based off of me not doing any research, I would assume the ships are going to be sold. They're basically kind of like an impound for criminal activity at this point. But typically when stuff like that happens, either, let's say if it's in a stolen car scenario, the car is either scrapped or it's sold. Now, given the Crystal Symphony and Crystal Serenity are older-ish ships, and they've been kind of passed around. So maybe the people that buy it, the authorities that have it, maybe they'll be willing to sell it to another cruise line, or the ships will get scrapped. So I mean, obviously that's the only scenarios. Thank you for providing great content. Thank you for providing great support. Seriously, my channel is nothing without people watching it and hitting the like button. Of course, that's your cue, guys, to hit the like button. Channel is nothing without that stuff. Otherwise, I'd be, that keeps me going. Whenever I see views going up and more subscribers coming in, obviously it's an incentive to just really, really step on the gas and keep pushing. You see, you said you hurt your groin, but have you ever had a concussion from spinning on your head? No, I've never had a concussion. Spinning on my head, no, that would never give me a concussion. It made me a little dizzy. I had a friend that had a sty in his eye because he was spinning too fast. I spin really fast, but thankfully I never had that situation. I've had my hands hurt from the speed, all the blood rushing to my hands, but I've never had a concussion, no. So I did freaking bust my head open one time doing a backflip into a pool. I was 13. It was so much blood. Staples. Now I got this weird shaped head because the staples did this thing. That's why I always have hair now. I got a cone head. My head's tiny. I got a little peanut head, and it's the top is a cone. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I just subscribed. Love your content. Oh, Donna, I appreciate that. Well, welcome aboard. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Let's see. I've been watching you for a long time. I can't wait for my first cruise since Rona came around. Tampa 4-day out of Carnival. Can't wait. You're coming to my hood? You're coming to my spot? That's great. No, Tampa's a good place. It's a good place. Are you coming beforehand? Marty, man, well, I hope you enjoy your cruise. Tampa's a good city. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Get crazy. Make some mistakes that aren't going to get you in trouble, hurt, put in jail. You know what I mean? But just don't. enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. You always got to enjoy it. Remember, life is very, very, very short. So yeah. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I'm going to read these last little comments. And of course, guys, hit that like button on your way out. But it said, Mr. J, like you have opened the whole wide world of cruises to single mom Lucy like me. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Wow, that means a lot to hear. Well, I'm glad I was able to do that for you. Welcome to the world. Subscribe to my other channel. I'll be teaching everybody and talking about travel outside of cruising. I think it'd be it's important, and I actually have a lot more knowledge in that than I do cruising, obviously, because I'm not like Emma. Props to her. I've been cruising my whole life. I used to go to the port, take my sister there because she was always going on cruises, and I would just wish I could go on that cruise. So it took me until I was an adult to finally be able to afford one. This is the perfect hairstyle for you. You look so handsome. Oh, stop that. You're gonna make me blush. You can't see it because I'm black, but somewhere in there, it's a little bit of extra red that normally wouldn't be there. Let's see. Can't wait for the Crystal Serenity or Symphony to be the first Ship Life cruise ship. I don't know. I won't have the money by the time they make a decision on what they're going to do with those ships. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go practice, go do my thing, get ready. Like I said, I'm making some plans. I got some more competitions coming up in the U.S., Puerto Rico, Slovakia, and yeah, Eastern Europe. I'll be bouncing around. And then I got, I think, one in like France, something like that. Either way, I'll keep you guys updated. I have a video coming out tomorrow morning, of course. I'm going to aim for like 9:30. I tried this morning, but I got in at 2 o'clock. Didn't happen. But yeah, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Hit that like button on your way out and check out tomorrow's video.